Hanging out here at the last day of Titans mandatory minicamp with Peter Skoronski. Good enough to give me some time. Weaver's been making me do this thing where he cheers the microphone before we do
All right,
an
we can do
interview. You
that.
ready?
Yeah. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, bud. It's good
Yeah.
to see you. What have the last 3 days been like?
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard in terms of what we've already been doing for the past, 2 or 3 weeks already. But a lot of really, really good work. Had some tough days, in terms of just conditioning and amount of drills, but it's been really good work, and it's good to have everybody really in the building. And kind of get that extra meeting time too. So definitely feel like we've grown this past few days, but good.
I don't know that I've ever seen a group of football players more relieved to be done with a drill than Olga and Bertha.
That seems to
The
be the
collective sigh of relief that you guys.
that seems to be the only drill that anybody knows about. We actually do other drills over there,
All
believe
right,
it or
so
not.
educate us, because this the majority of people are listening to this on FM radio, so we tell them the things that we see, and we get hyper
Fair
focused
enough.
on one
Fair
thing,
enough. Yeah.
so it's it may not be the most well rounded. So take us through the other equipment, because it looks like a whole science experiment out
Okay,
there half the
so
time.
well, we'll usually start underneath the chutes with just like the metal bar.
Right.
And we'll do two one rep each way of like, reach blocks, and then reach blocks with a different hand fit, and then inside half of double teams and outside zone. So that's like 4 or 5 different things underneath the chute. And then maybe we'll go and
And
do
that's all just under the chute.
yes, that's
Yeah.
all in the chute, which it can move pretty quickly, and he's pretty intense at the beginning of individual, so that can be pretty tough. And then we'll go and do like fit up reaches on a guy, and do that. Because we usually don't do Olga and Bertha until about halfway through. And is it difficult? Yes, for sure. But the good thing is that we're in line, so it's not like everyone's going bam, bam, bam. It goes
Right.
back and forth and back and forth. And usually there's like maximum 2 reps. So it's difficult, but it's not like the worst drill. I mean, we do like a wave drill with like sandbags in our hands.
Yeah.
That kicks everyone's butt.
So what's the wave drill? Don't worry, it's recorded. We can cuss and get away with
The
it.
wave drill is you're in a stance, and he'll point you and you'll kick wherever he's pointing, and then he'll point the other way and you'll post where he's pointing. So you're changing directions in your pass pro stance. Um, so it's cardio in itself and it's footwork, but then sometimes he'll add a sandbag. So you're carrying like a 50-pound sandbag in your
Oh my
hands.
God.
So you have the added resistance of like needing to stay upright while also moving and kicking, and very tiring.
How much more relaxed are you about just everything that's going on now that you don't have to deal with all the rookie and everything that goes into just preparing to be an NFL player beyond position specific?
I'm a lot more relaxed, I think, for sure. I think it's kind of night and day from last year. Having a whole year at guard and having a whole offseason at guard, I think it's just made a huge difference in my mentality. Once we get the pads on, things will change. Things will be more intense. There's nothing super relaxing about full pads
Sure.
at camp and stuff like that, but just definitely feel way more comfortable where I am. And, even in this new offense, really liking it and liking the stuff we're doing. I think it fits me well. So, yeah.
So for you and for the room, there's a lot of different pieces, just generally with the team this year, beyond the coaching staff, obviously, and the changes that have been made. How would you, for the audience who hasn't got to know all of you guys yet, how would you describe the offensive line room right now?
Yeah, I think we're in a pretty energetic room. I think
JC just crashed our press conference. I don't know if you saw that.
yeah,
He's asking Callahan for
he's
tackle
got
screens.
he's got a yeah, he's a hard worker. I mean, he's got a ton of energy and a ton of juice, and he's really, really eager to learn and get better, which is really all you can ask from a rookie, in my opinion. So he's got that, more than enough of that, in my opinion. And we've got a lot of guys who are working hard, and we all sort of unite under the grind that is Bill Callahan's individual period. So we get used to that, and we get used to like his mannerisms and being coached by him, and I think it's brought us closer together. So really enjoyed being around this group. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I remember the last media availability that we had with you, and you said that you'd been warned about how intense of a coach he is
Yeah.
from guys that you had trained with, and so you've seen that already, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. He'll definitely get after you, but in a good way where you feel you're getting better and doing really productive things, but it's not easy for sure.
For your draft class, you got Will, undisputed starting quarterback coming into the season. He's, that has to be a degree of burden off his shoulders. Tajay, obviously working with Tony and the rest of the backs, but
Yeah.
it's different without Derrick Henry, who's just a bit of a presence over everything, understandably so.
Sure.
You guys, the level of ownership that you as a draft class are taking over this football team right now, how would you articulate it?
Yeah, I feel like our coaching staff and our front office definitely has a lot of belief in our group. I think that's a point of pride for us in terms of, their confidence in us. And I think every single one of us is motivated to, to return that and produce and kind of prove them right, I think is something Will said. Um, so yeah, I think it's definitely a motivating factor, but definitely a point of pride for us too, in that they believe in us, and we want to do our best to prove them right.
As it relates to JC, obviously, who you're going to work with primarily, work alongside with, and Lloyd, just I guess how the benefit of the two of them, one who's new to the NFL, obviously,
Yeah,
but high level athlete, obviously a former first round pick like yourself, and then Lloyd, who was a full, I think he started for his entire rookie season and has
yeah,
been a full time starter since then. And the the invaluable nature of that knowledge, having a center like that to play alongside.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think center is such a cerebral position in a lot of ways, especially in this offense. So it's really good to have someone who's got a lot of experience under their belt and is also just like a really smart, cerebral guy with a really good demeanor. And that's Lloyd. And I think we're lucky to have someone like that in the middle. So yeah, it's a huge help to me as a guard. I think you rely so much on center communication. And I think it'll be a huge help to JC too, because it goes down the line. So just kind of an anchor there in terms of not just physically, but mentally too.
An errant pass was thrown in the direction of the media today. Guy dropped it the first time. Malik came back to him, hit it the second time. It was a body catch, but he
Yeah.
caught it. Would you, as a football team, ever be interested in seeing us embarrass ourselves in kind of a media combine the way that
I
Seattle
would
does?
really, really love that.
Because we are, we're critics for a living.
Okay. Yeah.
You're scouting out the group right
I
now as
didn't
JC's
look
at the podium?
at people at the squad over there.
I was mentioning the squad. That's a
Um,
very generous description of a bunch of unathletic.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Who do you think would do what are the drills exactly?
Oh, well, I think there you have to feel a punt. I think that requires some degree of hand-eye coordination. I think there have to be some form of ladder or footwork drill. We'll leave that
Hmm.
to you. I think we should see some people take a crack at Bertha
Absolutely.
early. Because I mean, 380 pounds. Look, seeing how difficult it can be for you guys to move that thing. Just the idea of like me running into it and falling, collapsing in a pile of myself, I think is entertainment enough to get us through
We
training
can
camp.
get you. We can put. I think just putting you guys through a Bill Callahan and Indy would be enough. Would be enough entertainment for me. But I would love to see a full combine.
Well, I don't have Kirby here to hand you a Buckeye this year, but I appreciate
Yeah.
you sitting down with me. It's always good to see you, and continued health and success.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Peter.